Have you ever wondered why life sometimes feels like an endless cycle of struggle, heartbreak, and unanswered prayers? It feels as though the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders, and no matter what you do, nothing seems to go right. You may have prayed endlessly for a better job, a stable income, success in your exams, or a happy marriage, but all you've received in return is silence, or so it seems. Why is this happening to you? Is it because you're not good enough? Is it because you've been forgotten? Or could it be something far greater, something you've completely overlooked? By the end of this video, you'll find the answer, and I promise, if you miss this understanding, you may regret it for a lifetime. Life is not easy for anyone. Look around you, everyone is struggling with something. For some, it's the endless rejection letters from job applications. For others, it's the anxiety of not knowing whether their hard work will pay off in their exams. Then there are those longing for companionship, praying day and night for a spouse who will bring peace to their hearts. But the reality is, nothing seems to be working. And yet, in the midst of all this chaos, we are told to trust in Allah, to believe that He knows what is best for us. But how do you trust when everything feels like it's falling apart? How do you find faith when every step forward feels like 2 steps back? Imagine a man named Yusuf. He worked tirelessly for years, saving every penny, dreaming of the day he could start his own business. But just when he was ready to take the leap, the economy crashed. His savings lost their value overnight. Devastated, Yusuf questioned why this happened to him. Hadn't he prayed enough? Hadn't he done everything right? But what Yusuf didn't realize was that this was not a punishment. It was a test to see if he truly trusted Allah's plan or if his faith was tied only to his worldly successes. The truth is, tests are a part of life. Allah never promised that the road would be easy, but He did promise that the destination would be worth it. Think about it. When you're in school and your teacher gives you a difficult exam, it's not because they want to see you fail. It's because they want to prepare you for the challenges ahead. Similarly, when Allah tests you, it's not because He wants to hurt you. It's because He wants to elevate you. He wants to see how much you trust Him, even when things don't make sense. But here's the thing most people miss. Tests are not just about enduring hardship. They're also about taking action. Let me explain. When you're struggling with something, it's natural to ask others to pray for you. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful act of faith. But are you praying for yourself? Are you taking steps to improve your situation? If you're looking for a job, are you updating your resume, applying to companies, and networking? If you're preparing for an exam, are you studying diligently? Trusting Allah doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for miracles to happen. It means doing your part and leaving the rest to Him. Take Fatma's story, for example. She wanted to get married and start a family, but every proposal that came her way seemed wrong. Frustrated, she started to question her worth. Was she not good enough? Was she asking for too much? But instead of falling into despair, Fatma decided to focus on becoming the best version of herself. She worked on her character, deepened her connection with Allah, and trusted that when the time was right, everything would fall into place. And it did, just not in the way she expected. The person she eventually married was someone she never thought she'd cross paths with. But looking back, she realized that every rejection had been a blessing in disguise, guiding her to the partner who was truly meant for her. Another powerful way to demonstrate trust in Allah is through charity. This might sound counterintuitive. After all, how can giving away your hard-earned money bring you closer to what you want? But here's the secret. When you give for the sake of Allah, you're showing that your trust in Him is greater than your attachment to material wealth. You're acknowledging that everything you have is a blessing from Him and that He has the power to replenish it. And here's the amazing part, He always does. Charity never decreases wealth. In fact, it brings blessings that are far greater than anything money can buy. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Trusting Allah is not easy. It's one thing to say you trust Him when life is going well, but it's a completely different story when everything is falling apart. So how do you build that trust? How do you strengthen your faith when you're surrounded by uncertainty? The answer lies in taking small steps. Start with something simple. Maybe it's praying consistently, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. Maybe it's giving a small amount of charity, even if it feels insignificant. Maybe it's simply reminding yourself every morning that Allah's plan is better than anything you could ever imagine. Let's go back to the question I asked at the beginning of this video. Why does life sometimes feel like an endless cycle of struggle? The answer is simple yet profound. It's because Allah loves you. Yes, you heard that right. He loves you so much that He wants to bring out the best in you. And sometimes the only way to do that is through tests. Just like a piece of gold is refined through fire, your character is refined through hardship. And just like a parent tests their child to teach them valuable lessons, Allah tests you to prepare you for something far greater than you can comprehend. But here's the catch. If you give up now, you'll never see the beauty of what's on the other side. You'll never experience the joy of overcoming your challenges. You'll never know the strength of your own faith. And trust me, that's something you don't want to miss. So what's the takeaway? Life is full of tests, and each one is an opportunity to grow closer to Allah. Whether you're struggling with your career, your relationships, or your personal goals, remember this: Allah is testing you because He knows you're capable of passing the test. He's giving you the chance to prove your trust in Him, not for His benefit but for yours. Because when you truly trust Him, you'll find a peace and strength that no hardship can take away. And now, here's my call to action for you. Take a moment to reflect on your life. What are the tests you're facing right now? What steps can you take to show your trust in Allah? Write them down, commit to them, and most importantly, never lose hope. Because no matter how difficult things may seem, always remember, Allah has an amazing plan for you, and this test is just one part of it. If this video has resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's spread this message of hope and faith to as many people as possible. Until next time, stay strong, stay faithful, and remember, you are never alone.